Hi, I'm Scott Stirling. I run for Falkirk Victoria Harriers. Been running for quite a while now, running at school. Started doing it when I was playing football and rugby at school and just kept it going into the senior level, and now I'm a Scottish and British internationalist.
Yeah, speaking of that, obviously you got selected for Team GB recently for the World Cross Country Championships.
Yeah.
That's an amazing result. You must be really happy with that.
Yeah, I really thought it was on the cards. I was a bit disappointed after Liverpool. I fell on the first lap of the race at Liverpool, and I really thought that I could make it for the Eurocross, so just kept on pushing throughout the season. And then Nottingham was a good course for me. It was a good conditions for me, and then just managed to nick that top 3 spot, which was obviously enough for the team.
What was it like? Did they give you a phone call or something to tell you that you were in the team? What was that like?
Yeah, so it was Eamon Martin that phoned me, so it was pretty cool. You know, he's the real deal. Like, he's been to the Olympics, he's won the London Marathon. It's pretty cool stuff that you're getting guys like that just ringing you up, telling you that you've been picked. Pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously you've had a really successful season so far as well. You've also had some tough competition with Jamie Crowe. How much have you enjoyed having that sort of friendly rivalry between you two, and did that give you kind of any extra desire or fuel for the fire when you're training?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Jamie's got the better of me on quite a few occasions this year, and you know, he's been pushing the standard, especially on the country over the last 2 or 3 years, really. Well, maybe longer than that.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have someone to chase, and you know, the fact that he's beat me does put a bit of fire in your belly, wanting to come back and keep pushing. So absolutely, it's been really good. It's not been much of a battle up until the last race this season there, but it is really good to have guys of that quality pushing the field and pushing the quality, because it does bring us all on. It makes us all better. So yeah, it has been good fun.
Definitely. And are you I've heard you're a full-time doctor, is that correct?
Yeah, so I'm a GP trainee.
Yeah, so how do you balance that, like training and full-time work, and did it take you a while to get in a sort of routine that was sustainable?
Yeah, the nature of the training is that you move from job to job, so you work in the hospitals and then you work in general practice, so you move around. So just over the last year or so, really, I've been in a bit more of a routine, a bit more of a 9 to 5 setting, so it's been a lot easier in terms of recovering, sleeping, you know, even eating right and things. So, and it just means that consistency's there. It just means that you know that you can keep going, and you can plan for the weeks ahead. Yeah,
definitely. And obviously your coach John at Falkirk AC, he's been your coach for a really long time as well. How do you find that, or how important do you feel that relationship's been in terms of your recent successes?
I think really good. John's, like you say, we've been working together for a while, and I think that he knows when, you know, you're not quite in it and you're maybe not quite enjoying it as much as you have to be pushing on. But he's great. He keeps you. He's the type of guy that keeps you focused, keeps you, you know, down to earth, but also gives you the confidence that you can push on and can make these, you know, Scotland teams and British teams, and he's always had that belief in me. So I think me and John work really well together. And yeah, I think that when that relationship's there, it does help for just everything, really. Yeah.
And has there been anything that you've changed in your training over the last year or the last season, or is it just a matter of like keeping up with the consistency?
I think consistency is a big part of it. Yeah, I think that, you know, making sure that you're just getting it in. You know, sometimes it's not always the highest quality stuff with everything else that can go on. You know, training, working, and whatever else. But yeah, we kept a couple of track sessions in over the winter time, which is the first time I've really done that in a while, because normally it was just, you know, winter time comes around, you're on the road, you're on the grass, but we kept a couple of track sessions in, which I think's been really good for the strength and the speed as well. So and I've quite enjoyed it, because getting on the track, you know, you feel as if you're running fast, and it's a bit funner, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, you've obviously been in the sport for a while as well. In terms of like people you look up to, Was there anyone who was like your main sort of idol or role model in athletics or sport in general when you were a kid?
Oh, good question. It's a really good question. I remember watching the Olympics in 2004 and watching Kelly Holmes win her double.
Yeah.
I think that was really cool.
Yeah,
and then you get like Haile Gebrselassie and Kenenisa Bekele and all these absolute superstars of distance running.
Yeah, yeah.
But also closer to home as well, because Falkirk Vics have they talk about these absolute legends in the club, you know, Jim Dingwall and Willie Sharp, and even we've got Freya Murray at Falkirk Vics now as well, so it's really cool to have these people that are, you know, absolute legends so close to home, and people talk about them so, you know, so freely, but they're just guys that are just living in Falkirk and around Falkirk, so
exactly,
it's a bit of both, I think. I bet you get these international superstars, but I think having people close by that are doing really well, you know, pushes you on as well.
For sure. Yeah, and speaking about the world champs again, the upcoming world cross country champs. How are you gonna like prepare for that? Do you prepare for any differently to like a normal cross country race, or anything you're changing for that?
No, because it's the first time I've done anything of this kind of calibre. I'm more trying to get not overwhelmed. Just try and keep my head and try and make sure that I'm doing things that I would normally do. I think changing anything at this stage would maybe be a bit risky, probably a bit detrimental. So no, just trying to keep the head. I was looking at some of the press releases for World Athletics, and the Uganda team got announced, and it was, you know, Jacob Kiplimo and Joshua Cheptegei. So
big names.
It's like it's one of these things that I think that getting overwhelmed and getting a bit starstruck is maybe, you know, maybe a risk. But I think that as soon as you get the race cut on and put your foot on the line, I think it's going to be right. It's a race, and you just have to get stuck in like you would anything else. Definitely,
yeah. And then speaking of training, what's your session tonight?
The session tonight is a K at tempo, and then we'll do some 400s, 12, 16 maybe, and then finish off with a K tempo. Keep the volume high and get a bit of speed in the legs as well. But no, it's a good session. I like doing 400s. Yeah, it's easy to get your head around. You just bash them out.
Yeah, do you feel like your sort of natural strengths lie more in the endurance side or the speed side of things?
Oh, definitely the endurance side. I don't think I've never really been very quick, to be honest. I think just grinding stuff out is really the way that I've done it, and even like sprint finishes, I don't really win many sprint finishes.
Just get a big enough gap in the first place.
Yeah, just try and work hard in the first part.
A few weeks ago.
Remember I was saying, remember when you were there, you were walking, you were saying, God, I've got logs here. Remember? He's a die-hard Falkirk fan.
Yeah.
Falkirk, it's a close shot.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
obviously, you've got a couple pairs of running shoes there.
Yep.
What's your go-to sort of rotation in terms of shoes you use for like mileage, long runs, and what you're going to be using tonight for your sessions?
So I'm normally in the Cloud Monsters. Do another pair of these. They've kind of served me for most of the winter. I normally use a flatter pair of shoes. I had been using New Balance, but looking at the On Cloud Eclipse for the easier stuff. And then I'm using, for the session, I'm using the Cloud Boom Echo 3s, which I've been racing on the road this year. So I raced in Telford in them, and I quite like them for training as well. I think they're quite a good one of these carbon shoes, because they're a bit of a lower stack than your Nikes or your Adidas or something. And if you're a big gangly guy like me, you don't want to feel as if you're too far off the ground.
Yeah, I bet.
But they're quite firm and responsive as well, so good for doing some track sessions as well.
Nice one. And then what's your go-to ones for racing cross country then?
Well, I'd been kind of kicking them around. I had just been using an old pair of the Nike Vaporflies because I didn't really think it was too much of a difference for the country. But
for the Dragonflies.
Dragonflies. Nike Dragonflies. Yeah.
You're going to be using them at the World Champs, you reckon?
I think so, and I think that I'll just retire them after that. If they've served me well over the course of this season, so maybe just retire them and then get some nice new ones for next season.
Right, okay. Just watch the pace go, eh? Alright, okay.
World record.
What's the sort of goal for the 400s then, like effort-wise?
Probably, if it was a half decent day, you know, probably anywhere between 63 and 65. But you know, with this wind, you know, 65 to 67 would be good.
Yeah.
Where you go?
5. Aye. That's better, Scott. That's a bit comfier. Much better. That's better. Just round the bit there, eh?
Aye, it's fine.
If you just feel just a bit of time with the wind just tees off a bit.
Aye, I know.
What's that, 5 in?
4.
5. .65 high. Five. 66, well that's better.
Yeah,
65 low. 66 low. 5. Low. 5. 66 low.
We've got 60 now.
Aye.
How you feeling?
Yeah, good, starting to bite.
Yeah.
Just that wind on the back straight is a killer.
Aye.
66 low. So it's always hills.
Always hills on a
Always
Saturday.
hills on a Saturday.
Yeah. Long runs you ever do hard or?
15, he'll do a 15 that steady, 7-minute mile in.
Yeah.
Last year, you know, around about just before Christmas and after Christmas, he could hardly train because he was doing shifts at the, ICU. I mean, so we never really got a lot of training in. It was just steady runs,
Yeah.
you know, and so this year he's got a lot more runs in because his work's been a bit more steadier. 66 low, Scott.
Let's do the KP here. Feels so easy after doing it faster, eh?
Alright, so Scott's session's done. You happy with that?
Yeah, it's sometimes the conditions are less than favourable at Crown Point, but
Yeah.
you just have to sort of grin and bear it sometimes and maybe forget about the times and just kind of keep it consistent, keep the effort there, and
Yeah.
it's good. I've not been down from the track for the last 3 or 4 weeks now, so it's good to just to get some pace down and get some reps bashed out. Yeah, it was good to enjoy that.
Yeah, well done today. Thanks a lot for that.
Cheers,
Coming
Dale.
on.
Thanks so much.
Right, so we're here with John Pentecost, Scott Stirling's coach. He just did a session 1k, 16.4s, another 1k. You happy with that session?
Very happy,
Yeah.
especially that Scott's had an easy week last week. Wasn't wanting to push it too hard. I got a really hard session on Saturday, but he will put the foot down on that. So hopefully all good for them.
In terms of these sessions on the track, like at this time of year, obviously in the cross country season, what sort of what's the goal for these sessions in terms of effort and output?
But we didn't. There's nothing crazy in our training sessions. It's just all about consistency.
Yeah.
Just keeping Scott free of injuries. This has been a long season, and it's just about ticking him over. The training's in his legs for a week on Saturday at the World Cross. So
Yeah.
I'm not really too bothered. I'm just want him ticking over. Nothing crazy.
Yeah. You've also been Scott's coach for like a really long time now as well. Was he someone that straight away when you saw him you realised he had sort of raw natural talent, or has he just had to work really hard to get where he is now?
Probably a bit of both. Scott's been under coached and under trained as an athlete, which for a coach is a good thing. I think he maybe lost his way, maybe in his middle to early 20s.
Yeah.
Being a junior doctor, I think he fell out of love with athletics. I kind of picked him up again probably a couple of years ago, even though I was still his coach.
Yeah.
And I think the kind of breakthrough came a miler meet was through in Scotstoun where he was running a 5k where he outkicked Johnny Glenn. And I think then that gave him the kind of impetus to think, well, listen, I could do something here.
Yeah.
So he went for 14:20, went down to Loughborough, he broke 14 minutes. So, and I think that's gave him a lot of confidence.
Obviously recently it was announced that he's been picked for Team GB for the World Cross Country Champs. That must have been a pretty proud moment for you being his coach.
Yeah, it was fantastic. We thought we'd missed the boat with Liverpool and he had a heavy fall. We really did target Liverpool.
Yeah.
And we thought he could have made the Eurocross team finish in the first 6.
Yeah.
It was really very hard to try and pick Scott up after that. I didn't think that would be the end of his GB aspirations. I thought he would have came on the roads because I think he's a better road runner than he is a cross country runner. However, Nottingham was a fantastic course for us. It wasn't tight turns, it was dry, it wasn't muddy, it was fast rolling parkland, and he done the business and got a Team GB vest.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously now he's heading to Belgrave. How do you sort of plan and manage his training as his coach, like throughout the winter and throughout now the next couple of weeks building up to that race?
It'll just be, as I say, previously said, it'll just be about ticking over. He'll not be doing anything crazy. I've got a good session on Saturday, 3k tempo, 4k hills, 3k tempo. Tuesday, nice light session. Thursday, it's just a light tempo. He'll be in Belgrade when he does that. And then the race on Saturday. So fingers crossed, first Brit home.
Yeah. And you said the session with the 3k tempo, 4k hills. That's something you do all year round. What's the sort of thought behind that?
Well, when I was running back in the day in the 80s, I was always, when I was getting coached, it was a hill session every Saturday. I've always coached, all my athletes. Every Saturday is always a hill session, and it's never changed since.
And obviously he was doing his session solo tonight. Is there usually a sort of group setting that he trains with, or does he ever jump in with another couple of guys, or is it always solo?
Sometimes he jumps in with Mike Johnson's group here at Crown Point. When he feels that the sessions are not going great. Sometimes he jumps in with one of my sons, one of the twins, Harris. He'll be training with him on Saturday, and some others for the running group in Falkirk. Kenny Elliott when he's back, from Kenya. We meet up with him and he does some sessions with him as well.
Nice one. Well, thanks a lot for today and good luck to the both of you then next weekend.
Thanks very much.